Ray Phoenix here, welcome to Let's Play Spyro for Year of the Dragon, Part 27. There's some gems remaining in this level, and some eggs remaining in this level too. And there's even a mini-game hiding in this level too, or that'll allow us to find the final egg. It's hiding in this very Arabian-looking desert palace, which makes me think this level is mostly rehashed from the Scorch level from Spyro 2. And rehashing levels from Spyro 2 is pretty much the basis for the next minigame we're going to come across. This game has quite a lot of mini-games actually, that really bring out the whole variety level. I think this game like a great variety game. A game that's like a jack of all trades, but actually does a good job at being a jack of all trades. Just yesterday, I tried playing Crash Bash, the one that actually got released for the original PlayStation, and not the version that's supposedly a demo, but it's really the full game in this version. I just played it, and it's pretty much a jack of all trades, master of none, kind of like a smartphone. It has tons of different mini games, but most of the mini games are kind of meh. That's kind of what the entire game is. The game just wants to be everything, but it fails at that. And then Crash Team Racing, on the other hand, is a game that only really did one thing, just racing, and it did a really good job with that, which is why Crash Team Racing is, considered one of the greatest games ever in Crash Bash, and not so much. And oddly enough, I thought this would be better if they were just bonus mini-games that you could play on a different game, like a game that actually is a fully fledged game, kind of like this game, Spyro 3, and the full Crash Bash would have been better off of just left as being mini-games you could play in Crash and Spyro 3, which is definitely the case of this game, as Crash Bash, the full, complete Crash Bash, can be played in Spyro 3. Yeah, I'll be getting to that when I actually make a video about that. I'll be providing coverage of that. The full game of Crash Bash, it might even be better actually than the real game that got released, because it has some odd Easter eggs that are not in the final game, and you can play whatever level you want, whenever you want. Just want to play some mini games of Crash Bash, just go play Spyro 3 and enter that code, and you can play all the Crash Bash you want. It's as simple as that. And this level is clearly a rip-off of the Aquaria Towers level. You see Hunter's dressed like he was in Aquaria Towers, or we're even left with the same manta ray thing that you had in the Aquaria Towers too. And there's those metal robot shark things that we saw in the Aquaria Towers level. This is just ripped off straight from Aquaria Towers. It's almost like they just took unused content from Spyro 2 and just made it the basis for this part of the game. They were probably running out of ideas at this point, and they were just longing to finish this game so they could go to the next game they wanted to make afterwards, which probably would have been Ratchet and Clank or something like that. And I sometimes get that way too with this game. This game has been going on for quite some time now. It's longer than most other Let's Plays I've made. It's almost a certainty at this point. This game is going to beat Ape Escape 3's record at being the longest Let's Play I've ever made on YouTube to date. Spyro 3 truly is one of the longest games ever. And I guess Insomniac Games is proud of that, for making a game that actually makes you sit in front of it for the entire, that makes you, a game that actually catches your attention and gives you several hours of enjoyment, several hours of entertainment out of one convenient little package. It all fits onto one CD for the original PlayStation. Just watching how a lot of PC games, later PC games, couldn't fit on one disc. They had to release them on multiple discs. Like Simpsons Hit and Run is on the PC versions on 3 different discs. They're all CDs. So is Star Wars Battlefront 2. Most likely because a lot of computers at the time didn't have DVD drives at the time, so not very many people be able to play them. Yeah, I remember back in the days when having a computer could play DVDs was a luxury, a rare luxury. I've always heard about them before. I never actually saw one in person for the longest time. I used to wonder if they actually existed, if they were real. And then in 2006, when I finally got my Dell Dimension 9150, I finally found that those are indeed real. Computers that play DVDs are definitely real. And that's the first time I got one, and that was the first DVD player I ever had, pretty much, was that Dell computer. And I have a Dell computer right now. 20 years later, I get another Dell. Not surprisingly, it doesn't have any optical drives on it. Well, I have some external disk drives. I have my external Dell DVD drive that I have, as well as I also have a Samsung drive too. I got from the charity thrift store I work at the same time. I found I think one of the Beavis and Butthead DVDs there. I even have a Blu-ray drive as well too. I don't have the proper software for my computer to play Blu-ray discs, because they want you to buy that software. A freeware version of that software doesn't really exist. At least I don't think freeware versions of that exist. So it's still not really fully capable of playing DVDs. I just have a way to, play Blu-rays potentially, or play other stuff potentially too. And that's pretty much another DVD drive too in its own right. Yeah, it's always good to have another backup drive. They say they're mostly for enthusiasts. I guess I'm an enthusiast then, an enthusiast of discs, collecting physical media. Like a lot of other Gen Z kids these days, they like collecting physical media and physical formats. And the final gems are in that container over there, hiding in that hand over there I could easily glide to. I've also been interested in buying more VHS tapes. My mom would probably slap my hand if I did that and say, no, you're not buying any more VHS tapes. I never really liked VHS back in the day. I mostly just watched it because it's what I had. But now people are suddenly starting to realize how awesome VHS really was. Yeah, I always liked DVD more. I still think DVD's better. I mean, my Tarzan tape got destroyed by my grandma's VCR more than 2 years ago, about 2.5 years ago. And I wanted to replace it for my mom by buying her a DVD copy. It probably because the only format she would seriously accept is the DVD. I guess she's kind of in the right for that. We cleared out that level, got all 700 gems, 700 little gems, and then we could, I think we pretty much have all or most levels in this homeworld 100% complete. I think we could. I think it was possible for us to 100% complete every level. So we got Agent 9 very early on in the homeworld. So every level in this homeworld is now 100% complete. And we'll be going back to clear out the levels that we weren't able to get 100% complete the first time around. Most notably, the Molten Crater in the Sunrise Spring world. Yeah, going back to the Sunrise Spring home. Remember the good old days when we were stuck at this homeworld? This bright, lush-colored homeworld. It really wants to demonstrate the beauty of this game. This game truly is a sheer beauty. This game looks surprisingly smooth. And I swear, I'm not using any like PS shaders or texture smoothers or those things you get on emulators that refine the game to make it look better than it's supposedly better than it originally was. I never really cared about those. I never really cared about smoothing or anything. I just like to play games the way they were meant to be. If you had an original PlayStation back in 2000 and you were playing this game on it, this is how it would have looked. And I like it that way. And this game does look better than a lot of other PS1 games. I'll have to admit, this probably is the best looking, one of the best looking games on the PS1. But it was a later PS1 game, so I guess it kind of makes sense. Most PS1 games that came out in this era, this general era in history, kind of looked like this. I mean, Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro also kind of had a very smooth look to it. So did Twisted Metal Small Brawl. Twisted Metal Small Brawl almost passes it being a PS2 game considering how awesome the graphics are and how smooth they look. We come across this challenge you're going to do the first time around, the Sergeant Bird challenge, where Sergeant Bird thinks he's just going to get some R&R, just like that Jack Curtis guy from Disruptor. But then he gets lured into this game. If you could call this a game, a stupid little challenge, where all his friends got decapitated, they got their heads ripped off. His head came off! Petey's head fell off, he was pretty old! We know who really killed his bird. It was obviously Arthur that did it. Yeah, Arthur Reed totally killed Harry Dunn's parakeet because he was too annoyed with it. And then he wanted to make it seem like it just died for some reason because of old age. We know it was an old age. Arthur just did it. I'm pretty sure Arthur killed DW's bird. I've had it with this place. Our pets' heads are falling off. We have no jobs. Oh yeah, that movie aged way too well in Dumb and Dumber. Most of our world is dumb now. And it's almost impossible to find a job in this day and age. Becoming a neurosurgeon is easier than getting a job a lot of the time in today's world. And Dumb and Dumber told us that back in 1994, and no one listened to it. And more than 30 years later, it's reality now. We live in a world ruled by Harry and Lloyd, the two dumb guys from that movie. And my grandma thought they were in the movie Back to School. I mean, that movie would have been better if they were, and they weren't in that movie. That movie would have been better if that were the case. Look, there's an egg hiding in here. Never eggs hiding. Luna. Yeah, Luna's a pretty common name. Very common name. I'm pretty sure we already rescued a Luna at one point somewhere in this game already, because it just further proves that there's plenty of names that have already been used, been done to death names. These toucan things keep magically reappearing after we kill them. That's probably why they don't give us gems. There's constantly like that a surplus of toucans. Yeah, the toucans just keep coming after us and keep flailing around at us. They don't really do any harm to you if you touch them. They do push you down to the lava, which can get you singed. And Sparks is working overtime now, trying to guess all the different gems. I think we missed it. No, we didn't miss a gem. Yeah, we didn't miss a gem. Let's pick up this guy's head and maybe hope we get him on the correct one. I'm not sure if there's like a specific one for a certain body. Just pick them up, put them in anyone's body. Hey, whose blood is this? Whose body is this? Who's in my body? Yeah, I imagine they'd be saying stuff like that. Or maybe one of them get a better body and be like, ooh, this one's better than mine. I'm keeping this one. Or then it ends up in the wrong gender. And it's like, ooh, it's the opposite gender now. I can look at myself naked now. Especially staying at the, trying to stay close to the ceiling as possible so we don't get singed when we fall from getting hit by those bird things. Yeah, bird on bird, War of the Birds, the Angry Birds. Yeah, this is the original Angry Birds. Long before Angry Birds was a real thing, we had Spyro 3, which had birds fighting other birds. I mean, I assume Sergeant Bird is a bird. It's in his name. The birds. Bird is the word. Yeah, I guess that's where they. I guess bird really was the word in this level. If all the birds we're going against are constantly killing them, he's a bird murderer. A penguin. But then again, you're going to be reporting and saying, "Oh, it's a penguin that can fly." A penguin that can fly? Yeah, you think you've had too much to drink, I think. You're going home. Maybe I'm sure the folks at the insane asylum would like to hear these stories of yours. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people probably thought they were insane when they came up with the ideas for this game. People used to think I was insane for liking these games more than modern games. Or for having a PS2 that wouldn't play DVD-based discs. Which is something on my first slim PS2 would infamously not do. And then later I would get one that would deface discs, which is even worse. Yeah, slim PS2 was a dumb idea the more I think of it. I'd like to pretend that thing doesn't exist. Maybe I sometimes think that people ran a contest. Did you ever see a contest on TV where the prize is a PS2? It was in 2009, and they showed a fat PS2 being won. And I know way too well they weren't really making fat PS2s anymore in 2009, so... And then they just say, oh, prizes are like just representations of what you could actually win, or the image is just a representation of what you could win, and doesn't really reflect on what you'd actually win. Yeah, that disclaimer never meant anything more than anything else. I guess this is the last one, the last heads to put on. There we go, we got the last head.
This egg as a sign of your honorary membership in the law.
It's giving us another dragon egg. Where else are we going to get? Ryan. My name's Ryan. I like to skateboard. I heard your last student pooped his pants. What an idiot. Yeah, that's all I think of when I hear that name Ryan now. I think of that Jerry video from 2007 when what's his name, Donald Glover, or whatever his name is, craps his pants in class. And then they said how he became a big YouTube sensation for it. There was an episode of South Park, I think, or something that happened where a kid crapped their pants in class, and they didn't become a big YouTube sensation over it. We all know, that's not the worst you can do on YouTube. It's better than trying to get around Japan for free by committing crimes and pretty much becoming Japan's greatest crime lord or something like that. The biggest crime lords of Japan. Just American people that are trying to make themselves big on YouTube or TikTok or something like that. And they probably play Spyro 3 as well too, and the Japanese hate them for that because it's such an awesome game, and they never got to have it. So it's quite a shame that people in Japan were deprived of Spyro 3. Oh boy, the Japanese had a lot against Spyro for all the wrong reasons. This game was far more worthy of being released in Japan than Crash Bash was. Crash Bash got released in Japan as Crash Bandicoot Carnival. Oh, what a shame. It's probably the game or one of the games in the original PlayStation that deserved the least to win greatest hits. There's so many other games that are far more worthy of getting greatest hits that didn't get greatest hits. I think the last gems are somewhere. No, oh yeah, I remember they are now. It's in this section now too. I remember this section where it's like those speed platform things where you could like run on these things we first saw in Spyro 1 where they just make us go really fast so we could catch that thief. It's also using it too, the red-robed thief. But we know that egg isn't really an egg. I was going to say we already have that egg. We already captured all the eggs in this level. It's a trick to make us think we missed something. But there we go. We got all 400 gems. Oh yeah, I remember back in the good old days when these levels only had 400 gems and not 700 gems. Oh yeah, I remember that for sure. Everyone remembers those days. Pepperidge Farms remembers that better than anyone else. And this level is now 100% complete. Right. Pretty much every level in the Sunrise Spring Home is now, or the Sunrise Spring Home is now 100% complete. Ray Phoenix, signing out.